Hey guys, it is Tanya, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another speed build today. I am creating a base game family home. I am finally able to share a build that I did using the new swatch update that we got a week or so ago now to the base game that added over 1,000 new swatches to the game on a variety of counters, curtains, decorations, clutter, and a couple of wallpapers as well. And I actually did start working on another build before this one, but I haven't finished it yet. I'm not sure how I feel about it. But if you'd like a sneak peek of that, I have been sharing some sneak peeks as well as behind the scenes of filming and stuff over on Fanhouse. If you'd like to join us over there, I will have a link in the description down below. But in the meantime, I am sharing this build, which I did over on Twitch last week sometime using this new update, and I don't know how to explain what style of house this is. I was going originally for like modern farmhouse, but I just let it happen, and I don't think it's modern farmhouse. I just had a lot of fun experimenting with this build, and it's a little bit different, but I think it's quite unique and a fun shape in the end. So I hope you guys do like it. If you do and you'd like to download it, it will be available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You can also find it under the hashtag msgryphi, and that information is in the description down below as well. Also, this ends up being a house that comes in at a little over 100,000 simoleons, so it's not on the cheap side, but I think it came out nice, so hopefully that price is okay. I was just having a lot of fun with making it bigger and figuring out a floor plan. It's pretty open concept on the inside. It's actually quite a modern house. I was just loving the new swatches we got with a bunch of the items in base game, and I think the layout came out really cool. So I'm excited to show you when we get to the inside, but for right now, we're still working on the outside and the front of the house. I wanted to have some sort of bump out, like maybe a balcony or something over this space over here, and that ends up being where the main entrance is. And it doesn't end up being a balcony, it just ends up being kind of like a, oh goodness, what would I call it? It's just like some fencing up there that has holes in it. Why can't I think of what that's called? Like a lattice? So that's what ends up being over there, and I'm playing around with different wallpapers as well. Here is that change that I had mentioned and couldn't think of the name of. But I wanted to make sure not only was it fairly neutral, but I wanted to have some warmth added to this. So I am using some brown wallpapers, and I needed to use the black and white swatch on these windows because, oh my goodness, they are beautiful. And at this point, I was still sort of trying to go for modern farmhouse. I guess it kind of has that vibe. It's just a strange shape. So definitely experimenting a lot there. And the windows change so many times. I was incredibly indecisive with this build, could not figure out what I wanted to do with it, and we get there in the end. It just took a really long time, a lot of experimenting, and it was kind of cool that that happened live on stream because it happens a lot when I build, almost every build, but it doesn't often happen when I'm live and you can see the full process in real time. It might be kind of frustrating to watch, but if you're interested in that, I do stream 3 to 4 times a week over on twitch.tv/msgryphi, and I would love to have you over there. But anyway, we are starting to switch out some of the windows here. I went for these just like basic modern windows stacked on top of each other in this bump out. And then I was like, you know what? I really want to use these windows because I've always really loved these from base game, but I always wished they had more swatches. And boy, do they have new swatches now. They have the black and white, they have just white, they have just black. They have a bunch of varieties, and I paired them with this other base game window to make them larger. And I just think it looks so nice. Something about this made me very, very happy, and so I was just playing around with mixing and matching windows and stacking them and trying to create new windows, and I think it added a lot of personality to the front of this build, so let me know what you guys think of it. But the front of this is coming together now, and I'm just working on some more landscaping, and I decided I wanted to have some steps up to the front door using some platforms, which I think is just a much more modern way to have steps. They look really nice that way. And then deciding I want like a curvy path over to the front of the lot. And we actually end up adding another building out front in a little while. I just thought there was this empty space and it would be nice to have like a detached garage / shed of some sort. So we should be grabbing that very soon here, but just messing around with some more landscaping first. Of course, grabbing lots of plants and bushes and stuff from the debug catalog, my favorite place. I use it a lot more in base game builds, especially because, you know, you are limited to base game. And I thought that this fence fits so nicely for this little walkway area that I have leading to the backyard. And then I grabbed a bunch of these little stepping stones as well to, you know, lead your way over there. And I thought it just looked really cute. I was quite happy with this build. I was like smiling ear to ear. If you were in the stream, you know what I'm talking about. I was so excited about when we finally figured out how this build was going to come together, because for a long time I was like, I don't like it, but I'm not ready to give up on it. I'm not going to bulldoze it. We're going to figure it out. But for a really long time, I was just like, I don't know what we're doing here. I'm not sure how to fix this. But I think it came out all right. But this is the sort of garage space. There's not like a car in it or anything. There's not a lot of space. But I wanted to put some skill building items in there. So we do that a little bit later. And I thought it was a little bit different because typically if I were to put a garage like that there, I would have the front of it actually be where I have the door and the window instead of on like the front of the lot. And I decided to do it this way this time. I just thought it looked cute. So doing that and then playing around with some more landscaping. We got some new swatches on a variety of the base game like regular plants, not the debug ones. And there's some pretty purple swatches, and so I put those outside, and that really inspired a lot of this build. There is a lot of purple on the inside, and it was very fun because I don't use purple that often on my interiors or exteriors, so it's just a little bit different. And we actually end up having this really spacious outside area out back. We have a big porch, and I think it comes out pretty cute. We even have a hot tub, I know, using the anniversary hot tub because it's space game, but I still think it was a nice thing to have on this build. And then just making sure we have our trash cans in our mailbox. I ended up putting the trash can right outside the door on the side here to that shed. And I think everything just placed pretty nicely. And then just trying to figure out the windows here. I ended up getting rid of one of the middle ones because it felt like a little bit too wide, but I still wanted windows here taking up a majority of that space. And then to the interior to try and figure out the floor plan. The first thing was like, where do I put the staircase? I have no idea what I'm doing. And it actually ends up being a too wide staircase, which is not something I do very often. I'm sure that's not a super popular experience. I feel like I always keep them as one wide. I don't like wasting a lot of space with staircases, but it worked out nicely here to have it too wide. So that is what we ended up doing. And there's also quite a bit of split leveling in this house. Both the kitchen and the living spaces are a step down, and I really liked that. And then upstairs, there are two bathrooms and two bedrooms, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it's just two. No, yeah, it's 2 and 2. Because I have a ensuite and a hall bathroom, and then downstairs there's one bathroom. So this is a 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom house. But we are downstairs now, moving on into this kitchen that is lowered down, like a step down into the kitchen. I think it looks so cute. And this is one of the new swatches on one of the base game cabinet and countertop sets. And I really like it. It just looks so modern and fresh. It's kind of wild how much new swatches can make the game feel so much more updated and new and exciting. Even the swatch of the flooring I'm using, this beautiful herringbone floor, is new. And it looks so good. I was very excited about this. We also got new swatches on those blinds that I'm using on those windows above the sink. The trash can now has a black swatch. It used to not have that, which is really nice. I primarily use the white swatch on that. It has some pastel-y colors as well, but I think having a black swatch and a white swatch of every item in the game would be a great thing, and it seems like we're moving in that direction, so I'm very happy about that. But over here on this shelf, I end up having some juice and some books and things. I keep it fairly simple, but I was really happy that those 2 stacked books have new swatches on them as well. I wish the other books that I have up there got some new swatches, but maybe in the future we could get that. Anyway, I decided to try and make this like console table in the middle of the kitchen, kind of like an extra island space. And I wanted to make it look more modern, so I raised a shelf up above that. And then we are using, a table and chairs over here. I'm still sort of going for modern farmhouse, and so that's why I have the black chairs with the wood table. I think it looks pretty cute. We also have a bunch of succulents, and you can see the purple popping into this space, both with this side table and the rug that I put under the island in the kitchen. I just think they're really pretty. I thought that they worked beautifully with the other colors that I had in this space. And just overall, a very happy decision in my opinion. I was just super smiley about it. I keep saying I was so happy about this. I thought this was cute, blah, blah, blah. I say the same thing over and over, but I need better words to describe it. But I just think it came out nice. Anyway, this is the open concept office that I have in here. There's no like door closing it off. And this is the curtains that you see over the windows. I put them throughout the house. They got a bunch of new swatches. They're the ones that we got when the game got toddlers years ago now. And they finally added some normal plain swatches to them. And the gray one is my favorite. So I use that primarily in this house, but I do use it in a few other swatches as well. But anyway, the office is done now, and we're going to be moving on into the living room. I decided to put the fireplace on this angle over here, and then I used some bookcase doors to actually lead into that space. So it looks like there's some built-in bookcases, and then in there, I just kind of decorated it as if it were just storage. So there's like some presents in there, a pile of money. I thought it would be like a lock room, or just, you know, like where you would put your safe stuff. I don't know the words I'm looking for, but that's what I ended up doing with it. It's kind of a silly space, but I liked how it looked, and so I wanted to make use of that small area so it wasn't just wasted space. But anyway, this is the living room. I have some like purpley walls, but we have this orange sofa, this like coral color. I think it looks really pretty, and I also used the new cabinets to be our like TV stand, which I thought looked really nice. I just really like the swatches on those. I'm so happy that we got new swatches. I think this is one of my favorite new colors we got, this one, and then I think the final swatch on it is like black tops with very vibrant wood sides, like orangey woods, and then there are I don't know how to explain it. There's a couple of swatches I really like, but the one I'm using here is one of the ones that I was very excited about. But just getting a couple of paintings on the wall, and then there is the secret room I had been mentioning. So there's some presents in here, a bag of money. We got like a chest you can store stuff in, and then I just put like a cabinet in here to fill up some more of the space. Maybe it could be like locked storage. And it was just an interesting use of space. But anyway, this is going to be the downstairs bathroom we are working on now. Like I had mentioned, there are 3 bathrooms in this house. I think I cut out the other 2 because they were fairly repetitive. The only difference is the other ones are bigger and have shower tub combos, whereas this one just has a standing shower. But I wanted to make sure there was plenty of space for your Sims to go ahead and get ready in the morning. It's very frustrating when all of your Sims need to get ready to go to school or work and there's only one bathroom. So having 3 was very good. Anyway, this is the primary bedroom we are working on, and now I brought in some more of those purpley swatches using this bed that was one of the ones that got updated as well with new swatches. It's pretty much the same swatches. It's just like we gave you the comforter with a different wood swatch this time, which is something like I'd like to have in the game, but I would also like some new comforter like patterns and colors. And if I could have chose a base game bed to get additional swatches to, I don't think it would have been this one, but it's fine either way. It worked for the color scheme we were going for, and yeah, that's pretty much how this room came out. I kept it fairly simple. I didn't want it to be too overcluttered, and then we are moving on into the kids' room, which I made a like for 2 kids. There are bunk beds in here, and it's a very yellow and blue room. I had a lot of fun with the color scheme in here. I love these bunk beds. They were originally beds that came with Parenthood, and then they got patched into base game when we got bunk beds. And I have like mixed feelings about that, but I do think that they are really nice beds. So I'm glad to be able to use them in base game houses, because I feel like over time, base game homes have gotten a lot easier to build because they always update the base game and give us new items and new swatches, like 1,000 new ones this recent update. And so I'm still happy to have that. But anyway, we are in the backyard now, and I'm going to start working on the outdoor space. I did add this hot tub that I had mentioned earlier, which I think works really nicely out here. I didn't think we really had enough space for a pool. I might have added one if we were able to put pools in platforms, but you can't. You can do them in foundations, but I didn't want a foundation on this house. I wanted platforms. So that didn't really work. Anyway, I'm putting like a fence over here, or a half wall to be a place that this barbecue can lean against, but I end up putting it on the other side of the deck a little bit later because I decided I wanted to have some loungers and it made more sense for them to be facing out towards the hot tub. So I switched the side that I had the barbecue on, and I think this outdoor space just came out really nice. You have your loungers, a couple of places to plant things. You can make some food, hang out in the hot tub, have the kids play in the monkey bars. And then the last thing we were doing is decorating this detached garage. So I just have some counters out here, once again, using some of the new updated ones. This is the this is the counter set that I hadn't used inside. These are the industrial ones that I think are called like the raw set. And I think they're really nice. I was so happy to have some more swatches of these because they're one of my favorite counters in the game. And then I wanted some functional things out here. So we have like the workbench, we have some exercise equipment. So we have a treadmill and a punching bag and just some decorations as well as a television. This would be a good skill building item or just hangout space for your Sims. Although there's no like chairs to sit down at, so maybe not hang out, just skill building. just finishing up decorating this, and then we're gonna be heading on into screenshots. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. That really does help me out. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not already. I'd love to have you join us, and if you click that bell, it'll turn on notifications so you'll be notified of every single time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all soon. Bye everybody.